That is when you net. Oh, nice, Jed. Fat. On the Susquehanna River today with my buddy Jed. Say hi, Jed.
How's it going?
And Jason Shay.
How's
the
it
guides
going?
up here.
Hi, I'm Jason Shay from Ken Penrod's Life Outdoors Unlimited guide here on the Susquehanna River. We're going out today to do some winter hair jig and finesse tube fishing. Got an 1860 Snyder boat here, half-inch poly on the bottom, UHMW. Basically lets you slide over rocks, ledges, pretty much abrasion resistant.
That's a plastic coating of some sort?
Yeah, it's a screwed on UHMW. Got 1/4 inch here on the sides, lets you slide through the ledges. 150, 105 Evinrude E-Tech jet with rock-proof boot. Tunnel haul allows the motor to sit up higher so you can get through less water.
How much water can you go through?
I ran it through 1.5 to 2 inches of water.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can run it over dry gravel if it's for a short period of time.
Right.
Minn Kota Fortrex 101, 36 volt, 190 gauge, tempered bottom.
Sweet. Let's get it wet.
Let's go.
My name is Jed Plunkert, and I guide for Brian Kelly for the Anglers Inn in Harpers Ferry, and we guide on the Shenandoah and the Potomac River.
Ready to go for a run?
Yeah, man. Let's do it.
There you go. Green pumpkin, purple flake.
Nice.
2 3/4 inch, 1/8 ounce sickle jig head.
Who makes those?
The sickle jig head,
Yeah.
I make them myself.
So you just got the do it mold?
Yeah, I got the do it mold hooks. Matzo sickle hooks, 2-aught.
What weight?
1/8 ounce.
Yeah. Is that the only weight you throw, or you?
I go between 1/8 ounce and 3/16, sometimes 1/4 on windy days, but in this flow, 1/8 ounce.
Yeah, we got to start. First one of the day. I don't think we need that. He's just a little guy. On the little tube, he's not that little. Right in the corner of the mouth. That came right out. I think that shows us why we need to downsize in winter. They don't huff it all the way in their mouth, so that's a good start. See it fishy. What was our water temp?
39.1.
39. Okay. All right, good start. I did rig this one with the glass rattle I got in there. That's a little tube in river bottom. I got a little bit of scent there. This is the just a little bit of Mega Strike, Smelly Jelly, whatever you want to use that's scent. I do believe strongly in scent in the winter, because sometimes you're not going to feel them whack it, and they'll hold on to it for a good long while. And if they feel you throb on the other end, they drop it. So giving them a reason to believe that they got the genuine article in their mouth, it's a good thing in winter.
Snags are gonna happen. This is how you take care of it. pull some slack out, bend the rod tip, throw the slack at the line. That's how you get it back.
Oh, baby. Hi. Did I wake you up from your nap? Yes, you did. Put me back. Jason and I were just talking about these smaller fish. You were saying you were seeing more of them.
Yeah, this year it seemed like there was a lot more of the 12, 13-inch fish. Seems like the smaller fish numbers are coming back on the river. The main thing for tube fishing is casting slightly upriver. Don't cast completely upriver, you're going to get snagged. Keep your rod tip high and keep the tube in contact with the bottom at all times. In these late winter months, just move it barely, drag it across the bottom. You don't want to hop it. If the tube's not on the bottom, it's not where the fish are. Other lure I like to use in the winter is a rabbit hair jig. This here is an 1/8 ounce football head hair jig. It got the rabbit hair there. It's real good in the winter. It pulsates and it looks alive.
One of the good markers of a winter pool is, and it's a little bit goofy, but is the presence of turtles. And I got one down here on the bottom. He's kind of wedged. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it. Oh, you got one?
Yep.
Anyways, the turtles will go to areas that have very low flow, and there's a whole bunch of them in this pool. He's pretty good, huh?
He's not bad.
Oh yeah. Get him off that rock, man. You going to net? Yeah, I would get a net on that one.
All right, thank you.
Yep, that is when you net. Oh, nice, Jed.
Thank you. We just
Sweet.
pulled up to this new area here, just above a couple different rock shelves, and that was about the first cast actually to this shoreline over here, with a different profile. It's a crinkle cut worm, it's called.
These real linear profile baits. You got one too. Your Helgramite?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Get a measure on him too, if you don't mind.
Yep. So we got what, 19 and a half?
Yep. 22 and a quarter.
Yeah, 22 and a quarter. All right, let's get a shot of this one. I'll get a still.
It's 19 and a half off of an 1/8 ounce football jig head with a finesse worm.
Anyhow, back to the turtles. Jed's so rudely interrupted by catching a big fish. This isn't the kind of place that, you know, looking at the bottom, we're only in like 2 feet, well, maybe 2.5 feet of water, and there's not this massive deep area with big chunk rock, and I don't know, it's not a typical winter spot. But what the turtles are telling us that they're here is that there's not a lot of current in this pool, and that is the, you know, common denominator in all good wintering pools, is that there's no current. There's very little. So if you look out over the surface of this particular pool, you're gonna see that the foam is traveling at a fairly slow rate. So watch the foam, and you know, find your areas that have very little current. We were out on the main river coming down here, and the current was flying a lot faster. And usually somewhere in that mid-November time frame, you'll see areas where, hey, there's a lot of turtles in and around this area, and they're moving to those areas because they can, just like the fish, they can withstand the winter better in areas in pools that don't have much current, even if they're shallow. Got an assortment of hair jigs here that I poured up last night. That one's sort of a bigger profile. Jed, you want to try some of these?
Yeah, I'd like to give one a shot.
This one's it's got a little bit of black rabbit zonker strip, and then up near the head there's I think that's the Arctic fox, the black fox. They're ugly, but they'll do the trick. I know in the winter DVD there was a guy, John Wopula, who did a lot of the hair jig section, and he said, you know, you get some hair on a hook and you stick it in the water, you're going to catch some fish. So it doesn't have to be pretty, and I don't know, maybe you can prove that with that one I made last night.
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
Because that thing is ugly. This other one I did is a sort of a crayfish profile. I have two of the kind of reddish rabbit zonker strips here to make the claws, and then the body I did with deer hair, and I had dyed that bucktail to be similar to the body color of a lot of the crayfish here. It's kind of that aqua bluish green color with the claws that are kind of rusty red. I got a little bit of round rubber in there, so I might give that one a shot. Now, we saw him surface a little bit earlier, but he's taking refuge here. Oh, he's mad. Hear him hissing? I heard you hiss. Turtles. Now, this is one. There's literally, when you're out here in November, mid-November, Thanksgiving time frame, you'll see these suckers in this particular pool and other really good winter pools all over the place. So let's let him ride with us for do you mind if he takes a ride? Okay. We got a mascot. Turtles and winter holes.
Right on that ledge. Five, six of them right there. 7.
No, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
How many turtles do you guys think we've seen in the last like 50 yards here?
In this area, at least 15, 20.
Yeah.
There's one.
They're just hugging on the bottom. Low current areas. Here's one.
Yep.
That's a big one.
Going under that log.
So when was your last guide trip of this season? Or are you done?
Done for the season right now.
Yeah.
Gonna start doing trips again in spring. First one I got scheduled right now is for, I think, the second week in March.
Yeah. March can be pretty sweet out here.
Yeah, it's definitely a great time to be on the river.
Things start waking up.
Yep. Definitely time to catch them schooled up.
When's your favorite time to guide, to really put people on the better fish in this river?
My favorite time's early to late fall.
Yeah.
You get the big ones, you get the numbers, you can power fish. Late spring's a real good time for tube numbers, but I'm
Right.
a power fisherman, like to don't want to finesse them.
Now you're big on what, spinner baits?
Spinner baits, crank baits, top water,
Yeah.
jerk baits.
So take me through your spinner baiting setup.
Basically any size from 1/8 to 3/8 I usually use. Nickels, War Eagles are the
Yeah.
primary colors.
A lot of people throw the War Eagles.
Yeah, they're good colors.
What blade configuration?
I have both tandem and Probably my favorite is double willow,
Yeah.
double gold. But depending on water clarity, I'll go back and forth from silver to basically match the forage at that time.
Right. So what was your best spinnerbait day for your clients in the last year?
It was early fall. We had a couple spinnerbait days where we had 70, 80 fish and 50 quality fish.
Yeah. Any real giants?
That day we had numerous fives.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Nice. They relate to any cover or structure in particular, or you just...
Everything. The river rose that day, so everything was pushed tight to the bank.
Yep.
Throwing a chartreuse half-ounce spinnerbait.
Half-ounce, you must have needed it.
Yeah.
To
yeah.
get down to
There's
it.
about 6 inches of clarity.
Right. Yep. I like fishing the river coming up. I'll take it clear like this too, but rising river, it lends itself to that style of fishing, that not at all finesse, just power fishing, just, you know.
Moving.
Yep, just straining a lot of water. But they're in particular on the bank,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
River in about 6 hours came up 2 foot, so they were pushed tight.
Nice. What about you, Jed? What was one of your better days on the water with clients this past year?
One of my better days was actually in the spring as well, and it was my first trip this year. We got a lot of fish on spinner baits and swim baits in the Potomac River, falling along grass beds and pretty narrow, pretty shallow water, but
New
picked them
grass
up on a
beds?
regular. Yeah,
Because they're just
emerging
popping
grass
up?
beds. Yep. And picked up some on crankbaits later that day. We had a few walleye. Probably had about 60 fish that day. And
Now, there's supposed to be a really strong walleye class in the Potomac now. Did you get any of those real big ones?
we got a few that were over 18 inches.
Okay.
Biggest one I got last year was 21.
It's a nice fish.
Yeah. Seemed like they were pretty steady in the spring, either on crankbaits or jigs. Usually what we got them on.
Yeah. Tell me about the boat you're guiding out of.
It's an NRS raft, and I oared from the center, so I had the client on the bow and stern of the boat. And it handles some pretty good whitewater. It's got aluminum frame on it.
Yeah.
And a brace for the clients to be able to stand up and sight fish. It's definitely beneficial for fly fishermen, that stand and sight fish throughout the day. So I got to guide some of my first fly fishermen this year as well.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
How is that different than your spinning clients?
You have to be a lot closer to the targets.
Right.
And patient from the angler and the guide's perspective. I feel being stealthy and being quiet and getting them in a position that they need to be
Right.
requires patience. Sometimes you come up on a spot that holds fish and none come out sometimes. So
Right.
sit in the next one.
Anybody get any real big fish on the fly
We got-
rod this year?
My boat got two that were in the 19-inch range.
Nice.
Yeah.
What'd they hit? What kind of flies?
All poppers, the boogle bugs,
Yeah.
mostly darker colored.
I think they were, a lot of the bigger fish do eat bugs like cicadas and just stuff that goes plop, lands on the surface. That's an easy meal for them.
So the majority would be smaller smallmouth, and we get some
Oh, I just missed one there.
bluegills as well throughout the day, but the big ones do load up.
Yeah. Switched over to a little bit larger tube on the dragon head as I was snagging a bunch. This one feels pretty good. I've fished this spot in higher water and we fish up closer to the shore, but with it being real low, we pulled out a little bit. It feels, yeah, it's a nice one. He's 18 or so. He's wide. Nice wide fish. Ah, fishy. He just came right in there. Bring him this way. Oh, 38-degree fat. Haha. But again, right on the corner of the mouth. Jed got one to take it deep, but this one wasn't real deep. Yeah, they're growing. Fat fish. He's cold too. I got him on this is the 1/4 ounce dragon head because we're out in current a little bit. And this is I think it's a wacky worm tube. Thin walled tube with the rattle in there just like I did with the little tube. But because of the dragon head, it comes through the current and the gravel, rocks and stuff down there a lot easier. A lot fewer snags. All right, nice fat 18 1/4 incher, 39-degree water. So I'll let her go back home. Not bad, not as big as the last one. Mm, 15 or 16 maybe. Same tube, same area, and that's common. You know, you'll get one and then you'll get more in pretty rapid succession. Because I think what happened is you energize that group of fish. This one was probably in that same pod as that 18, so. The 16.5 incher on the dragon head, 1/4 ounce dragon head and tube combo. Little rattle in there. Let her back in. Another nice one, same pod. This one knows how to grab the current. This one came running right at me and I loosened the drag. No, you know what I got? I got a muskie. Little bitty muskie. Baby muskie. Get that net, man. How cool. Toothy. You got a boca?
No.
I got one.
You got one? I thought it was another smallmouth in that pod. Think about it. I don't know. 2 foot long muskie. Nice. Hi there, critter. All right. Muskie on the tube and dragon head combo. How long you think he is? Mid-20s?
Yeah, I'd say over the golden rule.
About a 26-inch muskie here on the dragon head and tube combo. Go ahead and put this one back in. Oh, he's got one. Oh. Get him on.
Made it pretty good. So a teaser tube. Got a good hit on this guy here. Little teaser tube. Good solid hit. 38-degree water.
All right, we're heading in for the day. Jason, thanks for taking us out, bud.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you very much, Jason.
Hey man, give me a pattern wrap up. What do we end up with, and what's a good summary of how we caught them today?
I think we ended up with around 10 fish, mostly sticking to the bottom, real small profiled baits, just dead drifting down through. Some of them were on the edge of shelves, other ones were pretty shallow, so that's about the only pattern we found. We threw a jerkbait a bunch, but couldn't find any on those as well.